Hello, everyone. My name is Anna Ariston, and today I would like to begin with the greeting of our belated guest, Tatiana Simmer, who is an iOS developer from France, and you may know her from our previous episode. We talked about her career way with all its peaks and challenges, and today we will continue talking about tech field, but from a slightly different side. We will focus on how to build a career way in France from scratch. And my first question will be connected with the language knowledge. How essential is it to know French when building your career way in France? I would like to start with the greeting of our today's guest, Tatiana Simmer, who you may know from our latest episode. And she told us about her career way with all its ups and downs and all that stuff. And today I would like to continue talking about tech field, but from a slightly different topic. Tatiana, imagine there is a specialist who wants to build his or her career way in France, in Paris. What steps should this person take at the very beginning? And here I have a question about language. How important is it when he starts?
Well, I would say if you plan to live in France, certainly you need to speak French because everywhere here, maybe it's well known about French people that if you don't speak French, they would ignore you. They would just don't take you into account, but which is true sometimes. It can be true, but I think, okay, maybe I'm running now, but I think it's possible to find a job if you don't speak French in France. It depends. Of course, it's because it's a tech field, and in tech, people, all documentations and the language, it's in English. Everything is in English. All tutorials, all documentation is in English, and it's easier for someone from tech to find a job in France if he doesn't speak French. So it's possible, and I think I would say it depends also on the company where you apply to, because if the company is big enough, I mean, if it's international big company, for sure they have opportunities for you, even if you are not French speaker, and if you plan to leave and to stay here in France, you would have maybe some course they would pay for you to learn and to speak French in the end, I guess. So it's possible to find a job without speaking French. Sure.
That's great. Okay. So, and then where can I go next? For example, it's me who wants to build this career, and you are my guiding star today. I would like to enroll in some institution to get all of the necessary knowledge and skills which I can apply at work. So, what options do I have?
Okay. Well, it depends. For example, if you're like me and you're changing your career path like this from linguistics, you're trying to, it depends. If you already have a technical, like any diploma, you can try, or maybe you already have a computer science degree, you can try just apply like this. But if we are talking about people like us, let's say, without a computer degree, without computer science background, so it's possible to find many different ways in France, I would say, to change, and it will cost you nothing. Almost like there are free schools, free institutions. Of course, there are some payment institutions, but there are free ones, and you can try to apply. And so basically, it's possible to find the way if you're really motivated and to be in tech, and if you want to build your career there. And yes, it's possible. And I would say there are not many, but plenty of institutions that would help you to build your career, like without spending a lot of money on it.
So could you highlight any of them? I guess it will be handy for those who will watch it.
Okay. Right. For example, maybe this is how I started. Let's say I started with the school 42. It's a well-known free school for those who wants to learn computer science. But the fact about this school that also 42 school, it's originally like was built and created here in Paris. But now nowadays they have they're worldwide. Like they have some institutions everywhere in the world, basically. And this school is well known because it's free and because of the very hard level of entrance to the school. And also in this school, you don't have teachers. You don't have it's not a regular school. When you go to lectures, you listen to your teacher, your professor, and you do nothing. Let's say you just have lectures, you write down something and you forget all of this stuff. No, and this school you really learn, and you really have to work hard, I guess. So this school 42, right? But to be enrolled to the school, you need to pass 4 weeks of sort of competition, like it's called pool or piscine, because it's basically like a pool. If you like if you can swim in this for 4 weeks of coding, like in the end you can survive. If not, you will just draw, like you'll be dead, let's say.
What a metaphor.
And
Okay. And what kind of exams do you
yeah,
have to take during your studies?
for example, in this school 42, the course is based on the language C. And everyone, like we start, like let's say 1st of April we start the competition, and we end like 30th of April. And during these 4 weeks we stay in school up to 12 hours, because school is open like 24 hours during these 4 weeks. And you can, and also we have no weekends, no weekday, nothing, just you work hard every day. And I would say like so you learn C and the terminal, and you just solve some algorithms, so all of this stuff. And you have 4 exams during the PC. You have one exam on each Friday. And the last exam is very important. It lasts 8 hours. And the previous 3 exams, they last 4 hours. And during these 4 or 8 hours, you have no right, like to go to eat, you have no lunch, you can go to toilet and go back to your computer to solve some tasks, right? Yeah.
It's quite tough.
Scary.
Yes.
Yeah, yes it is. And this experience was, for me, I guess during these 4 weeks I passed all the exams. In the end, I was not enrolled to school, but it showed me that I am able to stay in front of computer for 10 hours. Maybe it's like good way to learn if coding is for you or not, because sometimes coding is really like you can't solve a bug for 10 hours, and you just need to stay, be focused, be consistent in it.
So, well,
It
at
takes
least you
some
got
skills
an
like this.
image of what it looks like.
Yeah, exactly. And this is great. But so what I wanted to say, that this 8 hours exam, you pass it and then you wait for 1 week until the results. I was not enrolled to school, but it was a good experience to go through. And also the idea of 42 of 42, that you can try only twice in your life. So as I didn't succeed for the first time, like last year, so I can try once again, but I don't have a third chance.
So, but as I remember from our last interview, you went to another kind of institution. As you didn't succeed, you still moved on. And
Yeah.
what was it?
Yeah, sure. So what we have 42, and we have in Paris, we have school Simplon. Simplon, it's also institution for people who want to learn coding. And they're the same, both of the schools, but they're quite different a little bit. And for Simplon, I had to like basically when you start to code, you don't know which field exactly to choose. Like what would you do? Like you will do backend development, you will be like front-end developer, or I don't know, many things are open in front of you, and when you start, you don't know what language to choose, what I'm supposed to do. So I was the same. And in Simplon school they propose different fields to learn. Like they have a web development, they have application development, like for iOS systems. So I decided, I saw this, that there was the enrollment, let's say, in June, I guess, last year, and I decided to join. All I had to do is just to present myself. It was the video call. First of all, it was a motivation letter, and also I already had some little experience in 42, so I just told them I participated in 4 weeks of like training, and it was enough, and I was enrolled for 4 weeks. Uh, Also 4 weeks intensive program, but learning, and this time I was learning Swift. It's the language for iOS development.
So, but as I remember from our last interview, you went to another kind of institution. As you didn't succeed, you still moved on. And
Yeah.
what was it?
Yeah, sure. So what we have 42, and we have in Paris, we have school Simplon. Simplon, it's also institution for people who want to learn coding, and they're the same, both of the schools, but they're quite different a little bit. And for Simplon, I had to like basically when you start to code, you don't know which field exactly to choose. Like what would you do? Like you will do backend development, you will be like front-end developer, or I don't know, many things are open in front of you, and when you start, you don't know what language to choose, what I'm supposed to do. So I was the same. And in Simplon school they propose different fields to learn. Like they have a web development, they have application development, like for iOS systems. So I decided, I saw this, that there was the enrollment, let's say, in June, I guess, last year, and I decided to join. All I had to do is just to present myself. It was the video call. First of all, it was a motivation letter, and also I already had some little experience in 42, so I just told them I participated in 4 weeks of like training, and it was enough, and I was enrolled for 4 weeks. Also 4 weeks intensive program, but learning, and this time I was learning Swift. It's the language for iOS development.
And how was it there?
And I
How did
didn't
you
make
understand what you wanted to learn? Did you have to try
okay.
different kinds of languages, or how did it work for you?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It worked like this. Like, so I tried, first of all, when I was trying to see if I like it or not. When I just tried to touch the tech part, the tech field, I was trying to learn Python, and I did it by myself. Python is good language, I would say. It's a good for entry level. Like you can try, you can see how it works, and it was fine for me. But then in 42, it was the language C, and the C is very complicated, old language. Like there is a lot of things different from the Python, or for example from Swift. The C is hard language to start with, let's say. And when I saw this, I understood like it's not for me. Like I was glad that I was not finally enrolled to the school, because the school was really hard. And then in Simplon, I saw the program for Swift like iOS development, and I tried before I started this 4 weeks program with Simplon. I was trying for 1 month and a half. I was trying by myself to learn Swift. So I found Swift very interesting, very, I don't know, fast. Just I'd like the environment to work on, and I liked it. I decided to continue with Swift.
And how long will your studies last in that institution? And what will you get at the end of it?
In the end of the Simplon, after 4 weeks, I just received their certificate that I finished the program, 4 weeks program of iOS development. And but in this school, it's just the first step in a way to become a developer. Let's say it's the first boot camp that lasts only 4 weeks.
What are the
But
stages
there
then?
are
Could
more.
you decipher the process?
Yeah. There are there are different stages, but I would say there's this one, the one I joined, it was Apple Foundation program. The program in Simplon was created by Apple. Apple decided to spread the idea of iOS developers, I don't know, to show everyone that any person can try. And they created this program on in the base of Simplon school. And so Apple just sponsored the program itself, and they created different levels, different steps. So the one I participated for the first time, it was the very first step in to become an iOS developer.
What will you continue with then?
Yeah, so I continued later on. They proposed me another to participate on another program. It was created just like I arrived in June, let's say, for the first step program. It's called Apple Foundation program, and they proposed me to join the 18 months. So first program was only 4 weeks, right? And the second program they proposed me to join, it was program for 18 months, which I'm currently staying on with this program. 18 months of development, and in the end you have a diploma of iOS developer. Like you will be the developer with diploma. It's not like a boot camp with just a certificate, that you finished some 4 weeks.
And what is
Yeah,
your
so I
schedule
decided to
there?
join this program.
That's great. So what is your schedule there? How do you combine work and studies?
The program is supposed to be 18 months, right? The first 3 months, we started in September. The first 3 months were just intensive program. We went to school every day, and we studied a lot of things. It was not only Swift UI, it was Node.js and some database information, how to create servers and so on. And also now we have three months passed, and we have right now we have a schedule like 3 weeks we go to work, and 1 week we have courses, we have lectures.
And when you found yourself in the process of a job search, was it easy for you to find it? What kind of platforms did you use? And in general, in France, which ones are popular?
It was not easy to find, and maybe my case is a little bit different from any other developer. I was not a real developer in the end. I was just an apprentice, right, who was searching for a special program. But in the end, as you see, right now I'm working, so it's possible, even if your case is slightly different. You're not a real developer without a background in computer science and without a lot of experience in the field. So what I used, first of all, I created a LinkedIn account with all information about me, what I'm currently doing. And I also created a GitHub account with my portfolio. I think it's also important and also I linked to this platform so people could see my works, like they just clicked and they saw what I did. Now I know that my works there were simple, but it was important to have them and to show people that what are you working on. So I used LinkedIn, and also in France we have here like Indeed is popular as a resource, and Job Teaser. What else? 50 in tech. It's mostly for women in tech. And also Welcome to Jungle. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I used those resources. In the end, the one that was successful for me, it's LinkedIn. I found this post on LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm. Great. So, and I would like slightly to talk about CV. How do you shape it? Are there any necessary stages or categories which an employer in France will look at first?
Yeah, first of all, it's slightly different from maybe from any other country, from country to country it differs, right? Here, it's important to have a picture. I think they if you don't have a picture on your profile on your CV, they will not see how you look like. So it's important to have a good picture on your profile on your CV. It's important to start with the most recent job you've been doing, like what you have done recently, your recent post, not like what you did in 2017, I don't know, 2014, like 10 years ago. No, what was your last position? And the same about your studies, like what was your last course you took, some about your soft skills, right? Also, like which language you speak. Maybe you can mention what are your hobbies. This is was my CV, nothing special, nothing like what you don't know, what you don't see regularly, but yeah, just like that.
And how long does the process of recruitment take?
It's a good one. So it took me about 1 month and a half to be recruited for the company I'm currently working in. And I would say if you let me give some advice for people who are searching for a job,
Sure.
I would say, okay, thanks. So it's important to be prepared for questions for HR interview first. Okay, you can apply for a job. You see a job position, you find it in LinkedIn, I don't know where. You apply for the job with your, imagine your CV is good, is great, you did it well, fine. You apply, and don't be afraid to apply to the position that you think I don't have experience for, I don't have, I don't know, skills for. Just try. Like usually they write everything, like a lot of information, and I don't think like there will be a candidate that has all of this. So try it. Maybe you have like 80% of it, so it's already good. You can try it. Don't be afraid of this, and be ready for HR interview. It's also important. Like I can imagine if you're a developer, you think like tech skills. Yeah, of course it's important, but you will not be able to show how good you are in tech, how if you are a good developer or not, if you don't pass the HR first interview. So better be prepared for it. There are a lot of resources, like you just search on the internet the most typical questions, how to pass tech interview, how to pass HR interview for tech position, and here you go. So that's what I did. I prepared myself for HR interview, and I prepared maybe like 50 questions. What questions will be. So I prepared myself, and when I had the interview, there were no questions I was not prepared for, I would say. Basically, it's
That's great.
possible. So yeah.
Glad to hear that. Thank you.
Thank you.
You wanted to add something? Have I interrupted you?
No, just wanted to say that it usually the process is like this. It takes a lot of time, recruitment for tech position, like 1 month and a half. So if they don't answer you after 1 week, don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
You can just remind them.
So that's a casual thing, as I understood.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. You have also indicated that, how to call it, like woman in tech stream. How is it going there in France? Is it encouraged? And by what means? if so?
Mm. Yes. So in tech, women in tech, it's in here in France in this tech field also. This is not something usual. Like we don't have a lot of women in tech. Maybe 20%. I don't know. In the company I'm currently working on, we have 14% of women in company. Oh no! But in a tech field, maybe 5%, which is not a lot. So, and companies they really encourage HRs to have women in tech, to have women in their team, and there is even the I forgot the name of it. There are stores where you can recommend your friends or I don't know someone you know for a position, and if it's a match, you'll receive some I don't know some money for this person, like sort of like headhunting, but you can recommend your friend. And if this is the girl and she working in tech, you have more money if she's recruited than if it's a man. So companies they encourage workers to by any means to invite women in tech. Also, the all of this also in 42 in Simplon, these programs they encourage women to be in tech. They help girls to go to start coaching, that it's not field only for men, it's not made only for men, so we can also try to be there. Yes, so companies encourage this by any means, by giving more salary, maybe equal salary as men, let's say, so it's the same. And what else? And yeah, there are a lot of schools like this that encourage also women to come, and they have slightly different maybe options to start to be enrolled to school. They will be I don't know how to say it, maybe they will be more prioritized in a way to be taken to school, enrolled to school, than men. Sometimes even like this. Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive, I should say. Did it also
Yeah.
help you to believe in yourself this way? As you started, I remember you told me that you didn't quite believe that this field is particularly for women, it's mostly for men. But here there is such an image and it is changing.
It is changing, right? And I remember also in school 42, we had meetings only for girls. Like we were maybe 150 in my promo, and we were like 150, right, all in all. But there were like 60, 50 women, not a lot. And you see the ratio, like. And we had the meetings only for girls where the professors, not we didn't have professors, but tutors, they encourage girls to continue to keep on going, to we could share our feelings, how we felt, because honestly this field is built by men, and it's hard to find your place there when you're a woman. It can be you can face many things, many problems with this, as many maybe as everywhere. But yeah, women try to encourage each other and to help each other. Even just a small talk like this in a safe space, it's always better than nothing.
Sounds really wonderful. I'm glad to hear that such changes
Thanks.
occur. Okay, Tatiana, thank you for your priceless knowledge, for sharing it, for your tips. I hope that I will see you again sometime later. Thank you again for your participation.
Thanks a lot.